And hello, everyone. This is Dan Lutz, and I'm here with Stefan Rowe on Dank Live. And we've got a lot to go over in a short period of time. I've got to leave early, but we have some updates. So let's get into it right away. How's it going, Tank?
Everything is coming together just as planned, I guess.
And also, I did send the link also to Tui. So Tui, jump on if you're going to come on. It'll be a pretty quick one, about 30 minutes, and it'll be over.
I can give you an update. I talked to Tui today.
Okay.
And he did meet with the tribes in Australia and New Zealand through a Zoom meeting, and I'm not going to say his name here, but the gentleman from the Aborigines has worked with Kim before, and I'm aware of that. And the group from New Zealand, they, all of the assets are stored there in New Zealand. That's why the space program, the secret space program, tried to drill down to get to those assets.
Oh.
And but true to form, TUI is taking aggressive steps to make sure that happens. They're all working on it. Basically, they've found a way around everything, so that they can actually bring all this stuff into fruition through a direct connection with the trust. And they're anxious to prove that to Kim, to show that they can do it. And so they're trying to set that up. And apparently, New Zealand has an answer to it. New Zealand.
Your line is a little weak. It's fading a little bit.
How's that? Is that any better?
Yes.
Is that okay? All right. I'll speak as loud as I can. So basically, TUI is now in the mix with these from the tribes from New Zealand and the tribe from Australia, and they actually have access to what I think is the appropriate banking terminal. I was going to get on a meeting with them today. It looks like TUI called me, so I must have missed it, but it didn't go until now. But I guess it was a very powerful meeting. And it looked, that's very likely to be able to break through. And once he does that, they will basically declare Fiji a kingdom, right? The kingdom they're going to fly out and declare Fiji a kingdom, and then they'll set up an entire private. They're going to buy the Fijian bank, and they're going to set up make it a private bank, and then you'll have, we have between you and I, Dan. I'm sure you have I probably have 27 or so different banks in different countries that we could purchase overnight. And I'm sure you have probably another, similar number. And we can set up a massive network of banks that we can use. And that'll have access to
we've got a list of 129 banks that are that would cover, the poorest regions of the world that where we would be able to, access the populations that really are in need.
Yeah, I figured you had something like that. So, that's good, right? So we can buy those banks, we can fund those banks, and we can actually get money to people because those banks will be run by us privately, and essentially This is something Kim had told me a long time ago, that I would have to create change, a bank and get like a banking license. So that would make, so it looks like it's somewhere in that world. That's not the exact details, but it looks like it's making really good progress, and it looks like they're pushing to do it right now. They have to do it now because Fiji's not going to last another 2 weeks. They don't have it. So.
Well, that's good. I'm happy to have it be done right now. And yeah, there is one major private bank there in Fiji that is perfect for purchase. Actually, good reputation in the world stage, and that would be a good way of reaching everyone. And so yeah, if they're ready to go. So let me ask you. So this is this Zoom meeting was between Aboriginals that were in Australia and in New Zealand, or just New Zealand?
Definitely the tribes, and I mean, he just said the tribes who I know
Oh, the
are
tribes,
Aboriginal.
yeah.
In Australia, I'm not sure who's in New Zealand. That might be a different tribe. I'm not sure. I know the king of some one of the tribes there was going to be on as well. So today, so good progress all the way around. It's right here. It's right here. But then it speaks to Kim's got even other stuff working. So Kim has now responded to me. She is, she's dark until whatever gets figured out. Probably because obviously we're doing shows every night, so it must be operational. So she doesn't want me sharing it. So I don't know. I'm very anxious to break through at this point. At this point, I'm like, okay, enough's enough. Trump had the big, massive military celebration, and great. Now unleash the actual humanitarian side of this and let us go to work.
Yes. Yeah. Well, well, we're definitely ready. And I'll head right over to Fiji and I'll meet you there.
Yeah, totally.
With greeting you with all the appropriate gifts for the people who are arriving. Right, I'll have this. Since I'll have time to get there ahead of you.
Yeah, good. It's fine.
All right. Well, that's amazing news. I wish that Tui's able to come on and talk about this, but it's all right. I know that from who I've been speaking with in England, that they're expecting things to happen in Fiji. They're saying there's a lot that is happening there. We had a couple different sources. Also, some people that are actually native to Fiji who have higher level contacts in the government there also are providing us information about things that are happening on the government side there. So there does appear to be everyone making an effort to push. I hope the prime minister is ready to move forward right now, and wants to bring.
Honestly, I really don't think it matters. If the prime minister, in the face of the military and the people with no money, is willing to stand there and say he's not going to do anything, then obviously he has been bought out or he's been compromised. So I'm sure the military will stand up and say, "Well, you're gone."
Yeah. Well, there is a very big Indian presence there, and it is really the Indians that are have been controlling things right now.
Really?
Yeah, there is very little, so much money that is leaving Fiji is part of the problem, because as things are paid for and things of that nature, they're actually bypassing the central bank of Fiji and going directly out and processing credit cards in India that should have been processed there in Fiji, thus robbing the chance or preventing the Fiji from being able to receive tax on those purchases because they're actually not processed in the country. And this is done by one particular bank that's there. So the bank is there, but they are processing not in that country. They're processing in India. So by way, and they actually had done the same thing, same group in London or in England, and so all the for example, all the Indian restaurants in India, the Indian restaurants were processing all their credit cards through this one bank that didn't do the processing in England. They did their processing in India, thereby bypassing the ability to get any tax on that for England. Now, England changed that and required them to process it there in the country. But this is, because they were caught, right? So this is what's these kind of things are happening. So they're not allowing any money, by taxing. From especially if the majority of all of the business being done in Fiji is by Indians, there's no tax revenue coming in. And that's part of the problem. So this has to. So when England is, let's just say the old Commonwealth system, and because the banking for Fiji is through England. Is expecting there to be a revolution there, it's because they're not going to send any money because all the money's leaving and going to India. So, so this is one of the things that has to change. This is something that could be. This needs to be changed ASAP. Just prevent that bank from processing those type of transactions outside of Fiji. And that's a simple thing that could be done by changing the law there. But of course, who wants to change the law if everyone in the government is Indian?
Right, so, of course, right. Why would they want to? Right, it benefits them.
Right. So it's a predatory practice, a parasitic practice. They're feeding off of the Fiji people. Fijians. Perfect. Well, it's okay. We're ready to change this. Things will happen all of a sudden, and they want to make a new type of government, their government structure, right? They want to change. So it's the Fiji people will have to be responsible for what's going on in Fiji. So we shall see.
That's pretty exciting.
Ooh, yes.
Everything's popping together.
Yeah, it is. Just making sure. Oh, so, well, I'm good. I can leave early unless there's something else we need to cover.
No, man, I'm good. I appreciate you jumping on, keeping things alive, and we'll talk tomorrow night, and hopefully we have even better news then.
Well, this was a high impact episode for just 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Onward and upward. Everybody have a good night. Dan, enjoy your meeting, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.